Maureen Paraventi. I'm talking today to Kathy Abshire, QSSP, a Regional Safety Solutions Manager at Miller Electric. Kathy has been in the industry for 40 plus years and with Miller Electric for nearly 10 years. She works with customers across the region to identify the best solutions for their specific welding applications and for their environmental and safety needs. Kathy has performed many training sessions on the weld fume management process for key associations and customers, and has been a keynote speaker at several industry conferences and webinars. Miller Electric, of course, leads the welding industry in building advanced, solution-focused products and meeting crucial needs for welding safety and health. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, Maureen. Thank you for having me this afternoon. I appreciate being with you.
I'm happy to talk with you. I do have some questions for you.
Okay, let's get started.
Well, let's start with a biggie. The hierarchy of controls factors heavily into Miller's approach to managing welding fume exposures. Now, how do the experts at Miller work with customers to determine an action plan for safety managers or industrial hygienists based on the hierarchy?
So that's a great question. That's probably where we always like to start, is right at the very beginning. So, managing welding fumes is created in the welding process is necessary for compliance with OSHA regulations and the industry standards. Welding fume management really is non-negotiable. Then it's a very essential part in helping customers achieve compliance and meeting the basic standard of providing a safe working environment. So the OSHA hierarchy of controls is really kind of the basis of the guideline that we utilize to help them determine an action plan for compliance. But really, it's a really easy step-by-step process to help them get to that level of achievement. So the first is to assess, assessing the type of concentrations that they have that are produced by the welding fume exposures, what's specific to their facility. We take into consideration all potential hazards that they might have. Where are their largest concerns occurring? And what specific challenges do they have to manage welding fumes within that environment? From there, we start to develop a collaborative action plan. And what we mean by collaborative is it's really important to have all leadership disciplines sitting at the table to be able to come to the same common goal. So whether it be safety, it be the welding engineers, production, quality managers, even the welding operators themselves, it's important for all of us to go on the same journey to determine what is the goal that we want to achieve, what's going to determine the measures to provide success or missed opportunities. And then again, making sure that their goals are relevant and attainable, and what's the timeline that they're looking to accomplish this at. So, then what the safety solutions managers do is we help them explore and implement some trials for certain feasible solutions that we offer to help them address the cause of generating welding fume, as well as what can we do to help reduce the exposure levels to the environment as well as to the operators. What's really important, though, in this whole process is to document the successes, document the missed opportunities, really to document everything that they have explored, because the goal here is really to build that collaborative approach within the entire organization and make sure that we're gaining insight to all of the parameters that might be involved in the welding processes so that we are looking to provide the best solutions available for them to meet compliance. One thing to remember is that it's an ongoing process. So, we become that trusted advisor to help coordinate all these efforts for the customers, but it's always ongoing. And anytime that there are changes or anytime that there's an implementation of a new piece of equipment, we want to go back and make sure that that implementation is providing the results that they wanted to achieve.
How do you help customers develop customized welding fume solutions?
So that is where, we come into the play of the who, what, when, where, and how. So, understanding their entire scope of their welding environment, what type of welding is being done and conducted, and how often, how long, by how many, whether it's MIG or TIG, flux core. All of those provide different levels or generate different levels of welding exposures. What's the base metal that they're welding on? Mild steel or stainless steel. Those are base metals have different generation of fume rates. They also have different standards and compliance for permissible exposure levels that need to be complied with. Where's the welding being done? Is it inside or outside? What's the body position and movement of air within their facilities? And then the changes to their environment. Are they increasing their workforce? Is it being held more inside in confined spaces? I mean, every welding environment is different. And when these changes occur, we have to understand the total process so that we're looking at, again, the best solution that we can help them solve the problem. But if we don't know the who, what, when, where, and whys, we'll never get to develop a solution that is going to solve the problem of how do we manage the fume in their environments.
So many factors.
There are a lot of factors, and again, it's a ongoing dynamic. And so, as we continue to work with the customers regarding their specific needs, we continue to develop that action plan, and we customize then those solutions that are going to meet their specific requirements.
Okay, Kathy, what benefits are there for companies that take a proactive approach to controlling welding fumes? And follow-up question, how does working with Miller create advantages for customers' fume management program needs?
Okay, so again, the benefits of being very proactive and collaborative in that approach is number one, you achieve compliance. Whether the compliance is with your corporate directive or initiatives, or it's for the OSHA standards, or it could even be the ACGIH thresholds. Whatever it is, if you're proactive in creating this safe work environment, you're going to achieve compliance. When you achieve compliance, you increase safety. So with compliance becomes safety. It's more comfortable. It's a safer working environment. Hopefully what you're doing is you're attracting and retaining and developing a skilled workforce that's going to increase your productivity as well. And company employees are really comfortable when they know that they have a safe working environment. So they're probably increasing more of their art on time, increasing productivity, and probably as well as increasing quality when they're doing things more safely and more productively. Some of the other is that benefits are you decrease occurrences and reduce medical costs that are incurred by illnesses or injuries that are related to your workman's compensation claims and your insurance costs. But again, one of the other things is that when you have a safer working environment, also labor and maintenance costs are also reduced as well. So working with Miller and our safety specialist, we go through all of this is to find out what goals do they want to achieve, what standards or thresholds are they looking to achieve as well, and where are their most largest concerns. And so we will go through this process to determine what's the baseline, and from there what can we do to help them really solve their problems and make deliver the results that they're looking for.
Air quality assessments are an integral part of developing an action plan for controlling exposures to weld fumes in the workplace. How can Miller Safety work with customers on worksite analysis?
So Miller, the safety solutions managers, are involved with providing customers a network of industry experts that can do air sampling. So air sampling is really the very first assessment that we have the customers hopefully perform, that establishes a baseline for change. Where are they today in meeting any OSHA requirements? And what is that delta or the gap to be able to get them into compliance? So we have industry associations through AIHA. We can also recommend working with their own company's insurance carrier or workman's compensation underwriter to perform the air sampling activities, to be able to identify where are the largest areas of concern within their specific operations and what can we do to help tackle those first. And then based upon those results, what we do is we start to focus on those areas to see where the exposures are occurring, what's the source of that exposure and why is it being created, and then what potential controls we can put into place to reduce those exposures. We offer trial and implementation efforts with several of our different solutions on site, so we can help the customer then establish a implementation and post implementation in regards to those solutions to see how effective they really are.
Now, what factors might necessitate retesting of a worksite's air quality?
Anything that changes. So what that really means is any changes that are in the welding environment or the welding process itself, or when you implement new conditions that may require retesting of the air quality. So, for example, a type of a welding process, MIG versus TIG, flux core versus shielded gases and all that. Those are going to provide different levels of fume generation rates as well as particulate exposures. Again, the base metal, if you change your base metal or filler metal, the one to have a lower manganese, you want to be able to test to see if that's the most effective and did it really bring us back into compliance or not. You know, different types of gas contents mixtures can generate different levels of fume. The location, welder work practices, you know, what's their body position in doing the task? Are they in a confined space? Is there air movement? And are they currently using any type of ventilation controls? All of these changes are going to impact the levels of fume exposure. So anytime you implement some of these changes, it's always best to go back and retest to see if the air quality has improved. And if not, what can we do to really go back and retest to make sure that we have any of the implementations we're making are going to improve their process toward their compliance requirements.
Now, based on worksite analysis and assessments, how does Miller Safety help customers implement controls to create a cleaner, more comfortable work environment and decrease compliance risk?
Yeah. So, you know, we talked about the OSHA hierarchy of controls, and that's what we utilize as our guide. We're in a really unique position, ITW Welding Group, which includes Miller, Bernard, Hobart, and Tregaskis. We're in a really unique position in the marketplace because we can provide on-site demonstrations of a multitude of different systems and solutions that could potentially improve the welding process and reduce welding fumes exposures to their operators and to the environment. So we go through a step-by-step evaluation following the OSHA hierarchy of controls. We look at all of the ITW solutions that are available to the customer, and we bring in our team of resources to help identify what we can do to improve and to make changes so that we're providing the best solution for their concerns. We evaluate source capture solutions. We'll evaluate training systems. We provide respiratory protection as well. So we utilize the OSHA hierarchy of controls as the guide, but we have all of our ITW welding group that's going to be able to provide solutions to meet those needs.
Let's stay on the OSHA hierarchy for just a minute. Now, each of the four levels of it addresses control methods used to protect workers from hazards. Can you give examples of how Miller Safety helps customers stay OSHA compliant at each level related to welding applications? Let's start with process modification and substitution.
Okay, so process modification is modifying the welding process, making a change or implementing a better process. You know, if you want to substitute something for a less hazardous material, such as changing the base metal if that's feasible, changing the wire to have a lower manganese content. Those are some of the things that we could do, or providing better equipment that has a more stable arc. So we're reducing the amount of fumes that's generated in the very beginning. So there's different metals and gases and filler metals that have varying fume generation rates that can result in higher fume exposure levels. And so that's where we started to look at that process first to see what can we do to modify it or substitute it with things that are going to improve that condition to begin with.
And what about engineering controls?
So engineering controls, now this requires a change in the physical workplace. So implementing things such as fume extractions, implementing local exhaust ventilation systems. That could mean fume guns from Bernard. That could be our fill to air, portable, stationary, or centralized fume extraction systems. Those are all going to capture the welding fume directly at the source. More and more the welding processes are being automated. So taking a look at fume extraction hoods above a robotic application or a collaborative robot application is to mitigate the fume exposures from migrating from the source area to other areas within the environment. Um, then general ventilation with ambient systems can also assist in overall improved atmosphere exposures. So Miller's filter portfolio of fume extraction systems are included in engineering controls.
And also another level, work practice controls.
So administrative controls requires change in the workplace procedure or practices, such as training on proper use of welding parameters, proper positioning of the body or the equipment that they're utilizing to keep the welders' heads out of the welding plume. Training systems with maybe virtual real-time feedback to encourage proper techniques is also available through Miller's educational systems.
And finally, personal protective equipment.
So PPP really being the last resort, right? Because we want to offer respiratory protection only when engineering controls or some of the other controls are not feasible, or well, those are being implemented and you need to meet regulations for compliance. So our full line of respirators, from anywhere from a half mask respirator to our powered air respirators, as well as supplied air respirator, are there to help the welding operators protect themselves if in fact some of these other engineering or administrative controls are not feasible. So one thing to keep in mind is that this is really a multi-tiered approach. It's not a one and done situation. It's very ongoing. So again, we can customize the solutions for certain areas. We can also make sure that, excuse me, that if we can modify a process, but we still need to utilize an engineering control or fume extraction system. And in most cases, you may still also need to offer respiratory protection. Our unique value is that ITW's welding group and Miller are able to provide a solution at every level of the OSHA hierarchy. It's really just important to always evaluate, to test, to implement, to document, and then go back and retest again. And again, we have the experts and the resources and the solutions to be able to provide that to the customers.
Fume extraction is an engineering control method in the OSHA hierarchy. Kathy, what differentiates Miller's Filter fume extractors from others, and what are some of the main safety features and benefits of these product offerings?
So the best way I can put that is our innovative technology in the design of our equipment that separates us from the others within the industry. So we have our design that includes accurate airflow, which means that we measure to have a true accurate airflow at the inlet of the collection hood, which is really at the hood itself for each one of our systems. So these ratings really ensure the customers that we have a nominal amount of CFM. Higher the airflow, the higher the CFM, the better suction, the better performance to capture the welding fume directly at the source. We also have higher filter ratings than others in the industry. We have a MERV 15, which is going to capture 95% of the small particulates of the welding fume. The filter media itself has higher capacity to load the filter, which means that it's going to last longer. It's going to have better performance and efficiency in filtration of the small microns for the welding fume. We also have auto pulse self-cleaning filter mechanism, which really maintains that accurate flow rate throughout the use of the equipment. Our most notable, though, in our technology is our zone flow technology. It is a patented technology that's designed to increase arc on time, boost productivity and improve compliance. So zone flow creates a negative pressure zone that allows the welding particulates to be captured from a distance of about 5 feet away, where normally it's only about 12 inches to 18 inches at the most. So we have a 3 times larger capture area versus the traditional fume extraction systems on the market. There's less need for the operator to have to adjust or move the arm. So that includes higher productivity as well as more efficiency. With higher capture distance, you can also have lower fume exposures, which means there's more compliance and safer work environment. Another feature of our designs is that everything is made out of a heavy-duty industrial steel construction, so it's durable for those harsh welding environments, and they last a lot longer. And there's really a smaller footprint to our designs than others. And we have low noise ratings. Might be a small thing to mention, but one thing that we don't contribute to the environment is with a lot of this mechanical equipment, we're not increasing the noise levels, right? All of our systems are rated below the OSHA requirements for noise. So they're easy to operate, easy to maintain, easy to move, and easy to make adjustments with no extra tools that are being required. So it's really our technology and design that differentiates us from others.
Low noise levels are not a small thing to mention.
Not at all, yes.
Now, Kathy, as you mentioned, PPP is the last line of defense, according to the hierarchy of controls. Tell us how Miller respirators are designed specifically for welding and how they can keep workers productive, comfortable, and OSHA compliant.
So again, we go back to the technology and the design. So all of our respiratory products have been developed by welders for welders. So we've done a lot of voice of the customers with welding operators, asking them what would they like to see in their respiratory protection. And it comes down to really three main facets. One is comfort, visibility, and taking a look at what they can wear all day long and be productive. So when we talk about comfort, all of our welding respirators are very well balanced and they're low profile so that they're not inhibiting the view of the welding operator. They fit very nice and comfortably underneath a welding helmet. It sounds like that's common sense, but there are many respirators that really don't fit underneath a welding helmet. They're lighter weight, so that there's no discomfort in wearing them for a long period of time. Our operators experience about 55% of less torque in the neck because our helmets are lighter and more well balanced. So we do reduce the strain, we reduce fatigue. We have some exclusive dual tech manifolds in our powered air systems that are delivering the air to key targeted areas, which create heat. And we create the comfort then by being able to have adjustable air vents targeting those main areas so that we're reducing the amount of heat that comes in. And we're also providing airflow to those specific areas. What superior visibility is with our new technology in the Clearlight 2.0 auto darkening filter lens. It provides a better, brighter view, a more natural view of the colors of the welding arc itself. You're able to see it much better, so we reduce the amount of eye strain. We hope to improve welding quality. And we have the largest integrated grinding shield for maximized downward visibility as well as peripheral visibility when you're doing welding related tasks such as grinding. So all of those things really improve the productivity because with enhanced comfort, cooling, and visibility, we increase the wearability of our units for all day long and all day wear. So we do actually include increased compliance as well as safety.
Now, how might customers contact a Miller Safety Solutions Manager, such as yourself, to guide them through a welding fume management action plan?
I'd love to be able to say to go onto our website, and you can certainly leave a message there to have someone contact you when at Miller Welds, the contact us page. But we are available through social networks, through LinkedIn, through Facebook. And also, if you are working with your local distributor partner, your welding distributor, they will know how to get in touch with any one of our welding safety solutions managers that are located across the United States. Currently today on our team, we have 6 welding safety solutions managers that do very much of the same thing that I do. We follow the very same types of approach in helping our customers solve their problems related to the welding environment. So again, you can call our customer service department at 1-866-931-9730, or you can contact us through our Miller Welds landing page as well.
So you are very accessible.
Very accessible, yes.
Thank you, Kathy, for all the information.
You're welcome, Maureen. I hope it was very helpful to yourself and to anyone else who is viewing this recorded session. And again, we are more than happy to work with you to help you maintain compliance and provide your welding operators a very safe working environment. And that's our whole mutual common goal with our customers most often.
Once again, I've been talking with Kathy Abshire. Kathy is a safety solutions manager, a regional safety solutions manager, I should say, at Miller Electric. Miller's products are used in manufacturing, fabrication, construction, aviation, motorsports, education, agriculture, and marine applications. Miller Electric Manufacturing, LLC, sets the standard for reliability, quality, and responsiveness. To learn more, go to www.millerelectric.com. Thanks for watching.